everybody, it's Justin. It's getting hot in here. Fraction with another TPS video. For professional athletes, they only get so many chances. If you're someone like Tom Brady or Michael Jordan, you took advantage of almost every championship opportunity you got. If you're Peyton Manning or LeBron James, you win some, you lose some. And then there are some athletes that got so many chances but never took advantage of a single one of them. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we dive into 10 athletes who had multiple chances to win a championship but failed. And a huge shout out to Major League Player for suggesting this video list. We hope you enjoyed, and if you do, leave your ideas for lists down below, and you never know, we might use one and give you a shout out. Number 10, Adam Oates. Oates' resume speaks for itself. The Hockey Hall of Famer was a perennial All-Star who scored 341 goals and 1,420 points in his career. The only thing missing in this trophy room? A Stanley Cup, of course. Oates and the underdog Washington Capitals reached the Stanley Cup final in 1998. However, they were swept by the Detroit Red Wings. Oates was part of yet another underdog team in 2003, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, but they fell to the New Jersey Devils in 7 games. Oates retired ringless, thanks to a pair of crushing Stanley Cup final defeats. Number 9, Tony Gwynn. Mr. Padre is often remembered as one of the greatest hitters in Major League Baseball history. 15 All-Star games, 8 NL batting titles, and 3,141 career hits speaks for itself. Gwynn and the San Diego Padres did a lot right, such as reaching the 1984 World Series. Sadly, they fall to the Detroit Tigers in 5 games. San Diego finally reached the World Series again in 1998, but the evil Empire New York Yankees defeated them as they constructed a dynasty, and Mr. Gwynn retired without a ring despite winning 2 NL pennants with the Padres. Number 8, Fran Tarkenton. Tarkenton was one of the top passing quarterbacks of the 60s and 70s. The 1975 League MVP and NFL Hall of Famer turned the Minnesota Vikings into a powerhouse, one that almost became a dynasty too. During the 70s, Tarkenton and the Vikings reached 3 Super Bowls, but they lost every single one of them. None of them were even close either. 3 Super Bowls, not 1 championship. You feel bad for Mr. Tarkenton, who was just a victim of bad luck more than anything. Number 7, Elgin Baylor. Almost every legend in Los Angeles Lakers history is part of a dynasty. Elgin Baylor wasn't one of them. Despite averaging a whopping 27.4 points per game, Baylor was never able to lead his Lakers to the promised land. It's not like he didn't try, though. Baylor reached 8 NBA Finals appearances in his career. Somehow, he came away empty-handed in every one of them. To be fair, his supporting cast wasn't like the ones Magic Johnson or Kobe Bryant had, but 0 for 8? Wow. Number 6, Randy Moss. If Jerry Rice isn't the greatest wide receiver ever, then it's Randy Moss. The 6-time Pro Bowler led the NFL in touchdown receptions 5 times. His 23 TD catches in 2007 are a record that stands to this day. Moss was, of course, part of the legendary 2007 Patriots record-breaking season. They met the New York Giants in Super Bowl 42, trying to become the first 19-0 team ever. And they lost, of course. Moss helped the San Francisco 49ers reach Super Bowl 47, but they lost to the Baltimore Ravens in an extremely close game. Moss would retire without a ring, and you can't help but feel sorry for him. He gave it his everything in 2 Super Bowls, but it never paid off. Number 5, Patrick Ewing. Drafted first overall by the New York Knicks in 1985, Ewing went on to make a name for himself in the Big Apple. He did just fine with 11 All-Star games and 21 points per game throughout his career. But Mr. Ewing got so close to winning a championship. His Knicks lost by a hair to the Houston Rockets in Game 7 of the 1994 NBA Finals. 5 years later, Ewing's Knicks faced some team called the San Antonio Spurs. Despite an impressive run as the 8th seed, the Knicks would bow out to the Spurs in 5 games. Ewing went 0 for 2 in the NBA Finals. No ring for Ew. Number 4, John Stockton. One of the top point guards in NBA history, Stockton's the all-time leader in assists and steals. He and Karl Malone brought so much prominence to the Utah Jazz, who wreaked havoc in the Western Conference for 2 decades. Somehow and some way, Stockton's Jazz only reached the NBA Finals twice. Both times they faced Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls, and both times they lost in 6 games. Pity. Stockton is now mostly remembered for being one of the greatest NBA players to never win a ring. Those darn Bulls, I tell ya. Number 3, Jim Kelly. Truth be told, you could place any of the cornerstones from the 90s Buffalo Bills here. But Andre Reed and Thurman Thomas needed Jim Kelly to be great. He was the engineer of the Bills' great offense. Everyone knows the story. Kelly and the Bills were great. They reached 4 Super Bowls in the 90s and miraculously lost all of them. Seriously, 4 straight Super Bowls, and they didn't win a single one of them. That's never going to happen in the NFL again. Just bad luck for Kelly and the Bills. Number 2, Karl Malone. The mailman and John Stockton, as we said earlier, made the Jazz one scary team. But Malone is hands down the top NBA player to never win a ring. The 6'9" power forward won 2 league MVPs and was named to 14 All-Star games. He did everything on the court. He was almost as dominant as MJ. Really, that's how good he was. But like we said, Malone and the Jazz were only dancing to the blues after losing to the Bulls in the 97 and 98 finals. In a last-ditch effort to win a ring, Malone teamed up with Shaq and Kobe's LA Lakers super team. They'd fall to the Detroit Pistons in the 2004 NBA Finals, and Malone would retire without a title. And number 1, Ty Cobb. Many consider Cobb to be the greatest all-around baseball player ever. I mean, 4,191 career hits is nothing to laugh at, considering it's a big deal if a player gets to 3,000 hits. Cobb won 12 American League batting titles and was the 1911 AL MVP. And the guy could run, as he led the league in stolen bases 6 times. Yep, Cobb was dominant, but he never tasted true victory. Cobb and the Detroit Tigers reached the 1907, 08, and 1909 World Series. They didn't win a single one of them. Considering how much he changed baseball and how close he came to winning it all on 3 occasions, Cobb takes the top spot on our list. Amazing how that man didn't get one championship, given his undeniable dominance. While other superstar athletes had multiple chances to win a championship but failed. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.